Hello, and in this part 2 speaking video, I'm going to look at the topic describe your favourite singer or band, and in it you should say who they are, what their personality is like, what style of music they have, and explain why they are your favourite singer or band. Now, a lot of you will probably complain that I haven't chosen your favourite singer or band, or I should have chosen somebody more popular. Please don't put that in the comments. I've chosen a band that is important to me, and these videos are to teach you some English, to teach you some vocabulary that will be useful for answering this topic and possibly other topics. You're not supposed to copy my answer, but if you are a fan of this band, then please go ahead and you can use as much of it as you like. So let's take a look. I'm really pleased you've given me this topic because I'm a massive music fan, but there is one group who is head and shoulders above the rest in my opinion, and that is BTS. They are a Korean group who have been around for around 6 years now, but I only got into them last year. I first heard about them when they won an award at the Billboard Music Awards, and I decided to take a look at their latest video. I was instantly mesmerised because not only can they sing, but they are incredible dancers. After watching the video, I was keen to find out more about them, and I binge-watched hours of videos and discovered they are 7 of the funniest, wittiest and charming human beings on the planet. Trying to put them into a musical genre is tricky because although they are classed as K-pop, their music consists of rap, R&B, hip-hop, pop rock and EDM. Unlike many so-called boy bands, they write and produce a lot of their music, so they are not a typical manufactured boy band. There are 7 members. RM is the main rapper and the leader. There are 3 rappers in total and 4 vocalists. All 7 of them dance. Mind you, some are better than others, namely J-Hope, Jimin and Jungkook. Suga is also one of the main producers, along with RM and J-Hope. And then there's V, who as well as being the most handsome man on the planet, has the most amazing soulful voice. Why are they my favourite band? Well, where do I start? Musically, they are producing some of the best songs in the world at the moment. Their lyrics tackle issues such as mental health, the education system, the pressures of fame, materialism, among many other things. They are not a typical boy band singing pretty love songs. They are not afraid to use their voice to talk about controversial topics. Despite singing almost entirely in Korean, their music is emotional, and although I cannot understand every word, it doesn't matter. I understand the sentiment of the song, and that is much more important than understanding every lyric. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the language. A useful opener for any part 2 topic. I'm really pleased you've given me this topic because then you get some present perfect. You've given me. I'm a massive music fan. I'm a big music fan. So instead of just saying I like music, here is an idiomatic expression. To be head and shoulders above the rest means to be so much better than anybody else. So whoever you are talking about, you can use this expression. So-and-so is head and shoulders above the rest. So-and-so, you put in your own group or singer there. I only got into them. To get into someone means to start to like them, to become interested in them. I only got into them last year, or if you got into your favourite singer or group a few years ago, I got into him 7 years ago. I was instantly mesmerised. If you're mesmerised by something, it really captures your attention, it catches your eye. Incredible, amazing. When we use before or after with a verb remember to put it in the ing form, after watching, after seeing, after eating. I was keen to find out more. I wanted to find out more. This is a very modern phrase, to binge watch, and it means to watch a lot of something at once. And we do this nowadays because of things like Netflix, where you can watch a whole season, a whole series of a program, and you watch them one after the other, or you watch 4 or 5 of them. This means to binge watch. Wittiest. If somebody is witty, witty is the adjective, and here we have the superlative form, funniest, wittiest, and charming human beings on the planet. So wittiest means really, really funny, but in quite an intelligent, quite a clever way. And charming, if somebody's charming, they're very attractive because of their personality. Musical genre. Very useful for this topic. Genre means type. So when you're talking about musical genres, is it pop? Is it rock? Is it soul? Is it jazz? These are the kinds of things that we mean by musical genre. Genre is quite a tricky word to say. It's a French word, and like I said, it just means the type. We use it as, we also use it to talk about literature as well. My favourite genre of literature is romantic fiction. Tricky, meaning difficult. They are classified as K-pop. I'm not going to go through all of these different types of music. You should know the type of music that you like listening to. Just point out the last one, EDM, electronic dance music. So it's dance music that's usually made on a computer. When we use so-called like this, we're usually being quite negative about something. Many so-called boy bands. And they're not a typical manufactured boy band. We talk about bands who are manufactured, and this means they have been put together by a record company. So like One Direction were a manufactured boy band. They often don't write their own music. They just sing and dance, but they have very little control over the music that they sing and perform. So I'm saying BTS are not a typical manufactured boy band because they do write and produce their music. So if you're talking about a group, think about how many members of the group there are. And in BTS, because they do rap music as well as kind of pop music, R&B music, they have rappers. Eminem is another example of a rapper. The people in the group who are not the rappers are called the vocalists. A vocalist is another word for a singer. Here I could have used however, but I'm trying to be a little bit more informal and a little bit more complex. Mind you is like saying but or however. All 7 of them dance. Mind you, some are better than others. It's a really good, useful word for you to use in speaking instead of however. As well as being, when we use as well as followed by a verb, we use it in the ing form, as well as having, as well as being. An amazing soulful voice. A soulful voice is a voice that's often quite deep and full of emotion. This is useful when you're moving on to another bullet point on the card to just say the question, why are they my favourite band? Well, where do I start? So when you have a lot to say about something, you can again ask a rhetorical question. So you're asking it to yourself rather than the examiner, where do I start? Musically, so I'm saying in terms of their music. Their lyrics tackle issues. This is a very good collocation that can be used in writing to tackle issues, and it means to deal with issues. Lyrics are the words of the song. Lyrics. Mental health. We talk a lot about mental health nowadays. It's how your head, you've got your physical body, but you've also got how you feel mentally. the pressures of fame, the difficulties of being famous, materialism, very useful for IELTS writing, about this need to keep buying things and having more gadgets and material goods. And when you're doing a list, you can finish it with among other things. They're not a typical boy band, so I'm saying they're not the same as many other boy bands. And they're not afraid to use their voice to talk about controversial topics. To use their voice means just to talk about. They're not afraid to talk about controversial topics. A controversial topic is one that maybe creates anger or annoyance in other people. Well, they're not afraid to do this. Despite singing, when we use despite, we can use despite the fact that they sing, or we can make it more complex, despite singing, and following it with an ing verb. Almost entirely, almost completely in Korean. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a very useful little phrase, and it means it's not important. I understand the sentiment. That's the feeling, the emotion, what the song is about, the sentiment of the song. And that is much more important than understanding every lyric. Lyric means every word. So like I said, you might disagree with my choice of favourite group. However, I've given you a structure for your answer. Think about talking about them musically, talk about them lyrically, talk about the members in the group, talk about what they talk about in their songs, what do their lyrics tackle, do they tackle issues, and talk about the musical genre that they have, and talk about them as people. There are so many things that you can talk about, but you need to prepare this one, so you need to think about the type of music that they produce.